Hello and welcome to another Spectacular Thing. I'm Todd Spatafor. This week I introduced a new website called Oh My God Microsoft. Oh My God Microsoft, or OMG Microsoft.com, is my attempt to keep my ear to the ground at Redmond to report on any news that's coming out of Microsoft. So let's look at it. What news came out of Microsoft this week? Well, it wasn't quite this week, but Build 25300 was released on February 15th to the dev channel. What changes were in there? The biggest change was more languages for live captions. Live captions is where you can watch a video or listen to a podcast, and it does closed captioning on the fly for you. See at the top of this screen image here? It has the text of what I was saying in the video. It's pretty neat and pretty handy. Other changes include WSL alerts, that it's downloading the store version of Linux when it's needed. The store version of Linux is updated more regularly, and it's an easier mechanism for Microsoft to get updates to your computer rather than the version that's installed when you say WSL-install. Voice typing is a feature where you can press Windows key H and a voice assistant will come up and allow you to dictate your text into the microphone. Well, now the settings will sync across computers. And there were some minor settings changes. There was something about snap layouts where they were going to modify snap layouts, but that got removed on the 22nd. Due to an issue discovered from insider feedback. .NET 8 Preview 1 was released on February 21st, on Tuesday. .NET 8 comes packed with new features, from randomness to performance improvements. You'll sure to find something great. .NET 8 is a long-term release supported version of .NET, and that means that it'll have 3 years of support instead of 18 months like .NET 7 has. Visual Studio 2022 version 17.5 was released this week with a lot of improvements. The enterprise management features of Visual Studio allow the administrator to customize deployment of Visual Studio based on roles. So what that means is that an administrator can send out a version of Visual Studio to a developer that's completely different from a version that it sends out to a build machine. Along with Visual Studio 17.5, Visual Studio 2022 version 17.6 Preview 1 was released. Introduces Sticky Scroll. Sticky Scroll keeps relevant information at the top of the page while you're scrolling down a function. So you can see here, you've got the namespace, the public class, public void, so you've got the method name, and then an if statement, and you're somewhere in that if statement, so you can tell what you're looking at easier in the code. That's a welcome addition, especially for people with very large functions. Also, with 17.6 comes MAUI. Yay! The multi-platform app UI workload for ARM64. So your Project Volterra systems will be able to do MAUI apps now. The new Bing, the AI-powered super search system, is now going to be found in Skype, as well as in Edge on mobile. Microsoft has discovered that 64%, is that right? Yes, 64% of searches happen over mobile. And so adding Bing search to mobile is a huge benefit. It also adds voice search, so you can just search with your words. But also, it's integrated into Skype, which is an interesting update. So you could be chatting along with someone and someone could say, well, why don't we go out to lunch? And you can say, at Bing, where can we go for lunch today? And it will come up with some suggestions for you. Loop in Outlook for Windows. Microsoft Loop is a tool to help you manage data with friends, with colleagues. On Wednesday, Loop was introduced in Outlook for Windows. Previously, you could only do this in Outlook for Outlook on the web. But now in Windows, you can create a table, as you can see here. You can create a table and people can work on it together. And you don't have to send the table back and forth and hope that there's only one version of it, because that never happens. That always splits and you get multiple versions of a table. Well, this way, people can work in the one table and it just gets updated everywhere. Microsoft introduced a hackathon called Hack Together that includes Microsoft Graph and .NET. This is for entry-level engineers who are looking to get into .NET development. Microsoft Graph and .NET Hack Together hackathon, starts on March 1st and goes through March 15th. The first prize is an Xbox, along with $200 gift card and $100 in Azure credit. Second prize is a $200 gift card and $100 Azure credits. And third prize is $100 in Azure credits. Everyone gets a digital Credly badge. But first prize gets a nice first place one, and second prize gets a nice second place one, and third prize gets third place, and then everyone else gets participant. So that's pretty neat. Microsoft has a trade-in deal, which to me indicates that new Surfi are on their way. The trade-in deal is a service that allows you to trade in your old laptop and get money for it. My Surface Laptop 3, my trusty Surface Laptop 3, is only worth $170, and my Xbox One X, my old Xbox One X, is only worth $90. So I'm not sure if it's as good as Apple's trade-in deal, but it's a start. And finally, .NET Framework reboots in Windows 11 are a thing of the past. That's right. Every time you'd install a new version of Windows, after the final reboot, there'd be an update to .NET Framework, which would require you to reboot your computer again. Well, they finally figured out how to service .NET Framework from within the servicing engine, and so you won't have that extra reboot every time that you update your operating system, which is a huge boon for those of us in the dev channel. That's all the news there is for this week. Please check out omgmicrosoft.com for the latest news from Microsoft, and let me know down in the comments what you think of this site. Any improvements I can make or changes you would like to see, or even if you have a tip, drop me a note. Please subscribe and like this video, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye.